In the next 60 minutes here on News Night, Road Revolution. Government unveils an ambitious 5,000-kilometer road network across 166 constituencies under the Big Push initiative to boost economic activities in the country.
We have programmed to rehabilitate 10 kilometers of roads annually in each of these constituencies. This translates to about 5,000 kilometers of road to be constructed in these 166 constituencies in dire need of road infrastructure over the next 3 years.
Details from the 2025 mid-year budget review as government aims to recover over 150 million cedis paid under ghost names in the 2023-2024 year.
They have identified 53,311 separated staff on the payroll. Mr. Speaker, the audit service expects to recover a minimum of 150.4 million of unearned salary from the separated staff over 2023 and 2024 period alone.
And also coming up here on News Night, the Roads Minister has fired a warning shot threatening to boycott cement manufacturers in the award of government contracts who failed to pass on the recent economic gains to consumers by reducing the cost of cement.
What is it that makes it difficult for cement dealers to pass on the gain to the people of this country? We shall be ready to determine that cement that is used for government projects should be sourced from sources that are cheaper on the market.
And Evans, the finance minister, is vowing to sustain current gains as he announces some aggressive measures to halt dollarization of the economy.
And in sports, former WWE superstar Hulk Hogan has passed away at the age of 71 following a cardiac arrest.
You want to stay with us for that and more here on News Night after the break. And you're so live, your News Night is on Joy 99.7 FM. In a major infrastructure boost, Finance Minister Dr. Cathedral has unveiled government's ambitious road construction plan under the Big Push initiative with the construction of 5,000 kilometers of roads across 166 constituencies over the next 3 years. And this is just a part of a major government focus on roads with all resources focused on that infrastructure over a 2-year period. Now, this bold move aims to enhance connectivity, facilitate economic growth, and improve the quality of life for citizens. The project is expected to be a game changer for many communities, providing better access to markets, schools, and healthcare facilities. I will tell you more about that shortly, but first, here's a list of major road projects, including some abandoned ones the government will be focusing on.
Mr. Speaker, number 1, the construction of a new bridge on the Oti River at Dambai. Number 2, rehabilitation of Wahan Road. 3, upgrading of Tumu Hamile Road. 4, upgrading of Tumuhan Laura Road. 5, reconstruction of Navrongo Tumu Road. 6, rehabilitation of Techiman Nkonsia Wenchi Road. 7, rehabilitation of Wenchi Sola Road. 7, 8, Mr. Speaker, construction of Sunyane Outer Ring Road. Mr. Speaker, the construction of Kumasi Outer Ring Road, Eastern Quadrant. Mr. Speaker, the rehabilitation of Bintri Napanduri Road. Mr. Speaker, the rehabilitation of Dodo Pepeso and Kwanta Road. Rehabilitation of Atimpuku Esukuma Junction Road. Rehabilitation of Esukuma Junction to Enyinawase Road. Right Honorable Speaker, Enyinawase to Ho Titrenu Road. Mr. Speaker, we'll be upgrading the Akosombo Jakiti Kudikope Road. Mr. Speaker, we'll be upgrading Esukuma to Enumbuso to Parliament Road. Mr. Speaker, Adome Bridge to Akomufre Road. We'll be upgrading Ho to Petoi Road. Mr. Speaker, rehabilitation of Petoi to Afiadanyamepa Road. Mr. Speaker, we'll be rehabilitating Penny to Aflao Road. We will be dualizing Winneba to Mankesim Road. We'll be dualizing Cape Coast to Takrady Road. We'll be rehabilitating Mankesim Ejumako to Aguna Swedro Road. Mr. Speaker, we'll be rehabilitating Tema to Aflawo Road. Construction of Dodowa to Afenya Dowenya Road. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will be upgrading the Oyibi to Apollonia Afenya Road. Right, Honorable Speaker, we'll be constructing the Enchi to Elubo Road. We'll also be constructing the Dadieso to Akontombra Road. We'll be upgrading the Adwefua to Osekojokrom Road. And we will be upgrading the Enchi to Kojoru Penchi Road. And finally, Mr. Speaker, we'll be upgrading the Bediakon Junction, Camp 15 to Sefri, Adobokrom Road. Mr. Speaker, as part of the Big Push program, we have also selected the following abandoned road project for which no dedicated funding was allocated for by the previous administration to be included into the Big Push program. Mr. Speaker, the projects are as follows: upgrading of Kasua to Winneba Road, rehabilitation of Ofanko to Insawam Road, dual carriage. Right, Honorable Speaker, dualization of Takrady to Aguna Junction Road. Mr. Speaker, the construction of Swami Interchange and local roads. Mr. Speaker, we'll also be constructing the National Route 18 from Wa to Han Road. And we'll be upgrading the Tumu to Chuchuliga to Navrongo, including the construction of 36-meter span reinforced concrete over the Kenyibi River and 24-meter span reinforced concrete over the Bichirunu River. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will be reconstructing the Navrongo to Sandema Road. Mr. Speaker, we will be rehabilitating the Tepa to Gosu Road, rehabilitating the Hohoi to Jasikan Road, and we will be rehabilitating Nkwanta to Oti Damanko Road. We will be reconstructing the Have to Hohoi Road, and we will dualize the Adenta Dodowa Road. And Mr. Speaker, to conclude, we will reconstruct the Jenejene to Sampa Road.
Well, in addition to all that, they are also focusing on some 166 constituencies in dire need of roads.
Right, Honorable Speaker, in line with Section 33 of the Public Financial Management Act, and as part of this media fiscal review of the 2025 budget statement and economic policy, I am seeking approval for these multi-year commitments. Mr. Speaker, government has also initiated comprehensive feasibility studies for 4 projects which are currently at various stages of preparation, ensuring detailed assessment of their technical, economic, and environmental viability. Mr. Speaker, the projects are as follows. Project number 1, Accra-Kumasi Expressway on a completely new alignment. Mr. Speaker, Accra Outer Ring Road, Kumasi Outer Ring Road, and Adoso Echi Amanfo Bridge to connect the Afram Prince area. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to reorganization of the Ghana Road Fund. Right, Honorable Speaker. This is not all. The government of President John Mahama has also taken a decision to remodel the Ghana Road Fund and refocus it towards road maintenance. As part of this media review, and on behalf of the government, the Minister for Roads and Highways will be laying before this House a new road maintenance trust fund bill. When approved, the Road Maintenance Trust Fund Bill will replace the Ghana Road Fund. Mr. Speaker, the Road Maintenance Trust Fund will, among others, provide for a new governance architecture, provide a formula for a fairer allocation of resources, and introduce more transparency in the utilization of road fund levy and others. Right, Honorable Speaker. The President Mahama administration has identified 166 constituencies in dire need of road infrastructure. In response, we have programmed to rehabilitate 10 kilometers of roads annually in each of these constituencies. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, this translates to about 5,000 kilometers of road to be constructed in these 166 constituencies in dire need of road infrastructure over the next 3 years. So, Speaker, simple put, over the next 3 years, we'll be building 5,000 kilometers of road in these 166 constituencies.
We can now speak to Hassan Suhini. He's the Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways, MP for Tamale North, and joins us on the line right now. Hassan, I'm grateful that you could join us here on Newsnight. So tell me, the funds that we need to turn what we just heard there into reality, is it already in the bank?
Well, Ivan, good evening to you and good evening to your listeners. First of all, I think that we need to understand that this is the first time the government of Ghana is dedicating such large expected revenue to this level of infrastructural transformation, especially in the road sector. And we all know how budget works. So the answer to your question is simple. If you listen to the finance minister, he talked about how our revenue handles are performing and how the different agencies responsible for collecting the projected revenue in the 2025 budget that was read in the early part of this year are doing. So it is based on these performance so far and the projections into the next 6 months that we are very confident that we will be able to fund all these projects with the budgeted sum at the beginning of this year. Because so far, it is clear, the finance minister has indicated that many of the agencies are exceeding their targets. And that is how these projects will be funded.
And these roads are all starting immediately. And from what I hear, your plan is to complete them 2028?
That is the plan. And that is why we are intending to begin the construction of most of these roads before the end of this year. His Excellency the President has said it a number of times that his intention is to turn this country into a construction site before the end of this year. And in the next 18 months, the expectation of government is that funds will regularly flow to these, investments that we are going to make in the road sector. And the expectation is that contractors who will have this job will also dedicate themselves to doing, work that is appreciable, work that we will all be proud of. This is a call on Ghanaian road contractors and other contractors, other, nationals in the construction industry to rise up to the occasion and give us quality roads that will last, beyond the expectations of Ghanaians, given the experience we have had in the past, where roads are done after a year or two and then they begin to fail. So at the ministry, we have already begun meetings with our engineers, our technical experts, to ensure that supervision, especially from the ministry and its agencies, is top-notch, so that we give the Ghanaian people value for money as far as these road projects that we are going to begin the latter part of this year is concerned.
You're also focusing on some 166 constituencies across the country. How did you shortlist these constituencies?
So we do not have a full list of the constituencies now. So if you ask me to name the 166 constituencies, you are not likely to have that data yet. But we have gone around the country. We have also reviewed the data at the ministry given to us by the agencies under the ministry, the feeder roads, the highways, and the urban roads. And we have come to the conclusion that there are some 166, averagely, there are about 166 constituencies that over the period have not received attention as far as their roads, is concerned. And that is the reason why we think that we have to begin to look at how we will prioritize these constituencies. And it will interest you to know that some of these constituencies we notice have roads that even that run across them. So just attending to one road may lead to improving the road condition in about 3 or 4 constituencies. And that is how we are taking this. The reason why, again, the ministry is trying to reform the road fund as it currently exists, so that we can improve upon equity, we can improve upon transparency and administration to fund, projects in other disadvantaged communities, so that we can make sure that our foodstuffs that usually get locked up in farm communities as a result of the poor nature of roads will be easily transported to market centers, which in the long run will impact food inflation.
And today, just before the budget was read, your boss, Agboja, addressed a news conference and said this.
Right, Honorable Speaker. As part of the fiscal consolidation strategy, we have taken measures to sanitize public sector payroll and rid it of ghost names. Subsequently, we engaged the Ghana Audit Service to undertake a nationwide payroll audit across all 16.
That's not what I was going to play, but in essence, he said that your ministry now, because of all the roads that we've just been talking about, the cement manufacturers who have refused to reduce their prices, there is some arrangement that would sort of exclude them if they don't reduce their prices in bringing them on board to participate in the nationwide construction that is going to happen. This is what he says.
Every other commodity in terms of price have responded to the gains we have all made together as a country, as a people. By reducing prices, cement dealers are refusing to pass on the gains to buyers. Henceforth, we at the Ministry of Roads and Highways would take a second look at all those producers who are refusing to pass on the gains to the public in determining where we direct the major government programs that use cement. We shall be more aligned to cement producers who are ready to pass on the gains made in the economy in terms of stability of the currency to consumers. So if you are a cement seller today, you better look at the possibility of passing on the gains made in the economy in terms of your inputs, so that prices of cement must come down. Because the price of cement is directly linked to the cost of government projects. And invariably or indirectly, it is the Ghanaian taxpayer who will pay for those projects.
I mean, and so to put it simply, reduce or be excluded. Is that basically what you're saying?
Well, you see, Ivan, this is a very sensitive government. And this is a government that also wants to leave the conversations that we have had over the years on how government purchasing power can be used to influence the economy and, production in the country in general. So we are committing about 13 billion Ghana cedis this year to road construction. Government should be able to use that power of the purse to influence the products that will be purchased by that money that the common Ghanaian is going to contribute. Because that 13 billion is going to be raised from our taxes, the revenues of the state. And so my boss, the minister, is saying that if we are going to spend this much, and there's evidence that some of the inputs that will be used to construct our roads can be sold lower than they are currently sold, then we will be urging contractors to go for the lowest price of the input at the same quality. Because remember that it is the road ministry that will craft these contracts and determine the QS. The quantities will be determined. And so, for example, if in the contract that we are going to enter into these contractors, we determine cement price to be at a certain level because we know that the market can sell cement at that price and still not run at a loss. Any cement producer that wants to take advantage of the demand that this construction will create will do the smart thing by reducing to meet the demand of the contractors.
Yeah,
Don't you agree with me, Ivan?
And by extension, the minister actually is talking in more broader terms, beyond just reducing it just for the purposes of the road construction, but for ordinary folks like me and you.
So that is why I said that we are a sensitive government, and we also want to leave the conversations that we have always had about how purchasing power of government can be used to influence the, construction and production in the country. So the first part is that we are a sensitive government. So we realize that as things stand now, cement prices, we are told by people in the industry, would have come down. So we do not understand why it is still sticking at the top. When other, goods are coming down, iron rods, for example, you heard the finance minister use it as an example in his presentation today, has reduced from about 9,000 to about 7,000 Ghana cedis per ton. And it is the same with other, products in the construction sector, like POP cement. It has all come down. So we do not understand why cement, is still sold at the price that it is sold at. And we are thinking that as a government that has this much to spend and will require the use of cement, we should be able to leverage that spending power to influence the prices of cement, not only, yes, for the construction of roads, but also for the benefit of the consuming public. People also want to put up 1 or 2, 3-bedroom houses to house their families.
Hassan Suhini, thank you very much. He is a Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways, MP for Tamale North. There's more in this mid-year budget review that obviously deserves attention, including the startling revelation by the Finance Minister that the ongoing audit into payroll fraud has revealed some 53,000 ghost names, and he's now targeting on the back of an audit to retrieve some 150 million cedis.
Right, Honorable Speaker. As part of the fiscal consolidation strategy, we have taken measures to sanitize public sector payroll and rid it of ghost names. Subsequently, we engaged the Ghana Audit Service to undertake a nationwide payroll audit across all 16 regions of the country. The Speaker, the Audit Service has completed 91% of the payroll audit. So far, the Audit Service has not been able to identify or verify over 14,000 workers. Mr. Speaker, again, they have identified 53,311 separated staff on the payroll. Mr. Speaker, separated staffs are staff who are either on retirement, reassigned, terminated, or are on leave without pay or deceased and yet remain on government payroll. Mr. Speaker, the Audit Service expects to recover a minimum of 150.4 million of unearned salary from the separated staff over 2023 and 2024 period alone. Right, Honorable Speaker. Going forward, we will enforce the monthly payroll validation process and strictly apply sanctions to all who validate ghosts for payment of salaries. Mr. Speaker, let me use this opportunity to strongly caution those who validate ghosts across the public service, that they will be personally liable for the loss of public fund. Mr. Speaker, let me repeat. Let me use this opportunity to strongly caution those who validate ghosts across the public service that they will be personally liable for the loss of public funds. Right, Honorable Speaker. The Ministry of Finance will continue to monitor this payroll and put in place measures to prevent ghosts on the payroll going forward.
We also had a message for Ghanaian traders and manufacturers, asking them to reduce their prices on the back of the steady stability and the drop in inflation.
We have taken deliberate and decisive action to ensure that the challenges with exchange rate and prices are tackled head on. Mr. Speaker, let me assure all Ghanaians that the stability in the exchange rate and the lower prices we are experiencing will be sustained. Ghanaians, the Speaker, the government has worked hard to bring down and stabilize the exchange rate with deliberate policies. It is now time for businesses to bring down prices to reflect the new economic reality. We understand businesses went through some sacrifices during the turbulent economic challenges, but so did the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, it is now time for prices to come down to reflect the new realities for the benefit of all Ghanaians and not only for the traders.
And I want to bring in there Dr. Humphrey Ayim Dake. He's the president of the Association of Ghana Industries. He joins us on the line right now. And thank you very much, Doc, for your time here on Newsnight. What's your response to the finance minister when he says reduce prices?
There's a definite statement from the minister, which is quite encouraging. And that, I believe, will resonate through the market, through the factories, and through the workplaces, and then to reflect accordingly in pricing.
So we should expect that from tomorrow morning, if I come to any of your shops, those who manufacture and sell locally, I should expect prices to be going down.
But seriously, prices have been reducing on some sectors. The aggregate across board is what is a concern. But I believe strongly with such definite statement, demonstrable stability with the data, and with that assurance, further reductions will come up, and other initiatives that he described, we believe prices will fall accordingly.
And give me a quick reaction today. The finance minister gave an update on the VAT reforms. He's now giving us a clear timeline. He says expect this to happen by October, but also gives us very clearly what it will look like. He says at the minimum, you should expect the COVID-19 levy to be abolished. The effective VAT rate will be reduced. The punitive cascading effect of the GET fund and NHI's levies will be removed. VAT flat rates will be removed and a unified VAT rate will be implemented. The VAT registration threshold will be increased to exempt small and micro businesses. Compliance will then be improved through public education, awareness creation, etc. Give me your reaction to that.
It gives me confidence that our advocacy has been heard by the minister, and he detailed it carefully, and that has been our request. So if he has recreated it a second time, we all wait for October. Yes, AG has been consulted in the reforms, and therefore we are very confident, and we uphold the assurances that he's tabled again.
I'm grateful, Doc. That there is the president of the Association of Ghana Industries, and George Yaffe is here in the studio. He led our team in covering the media budget review, and I know you have some additional headlines, George.
Of course, Evans will be telling you more about what the minister is doing to sustain the current gaze as he announces some aggressive measures to halt the dollarization of the economy and supply challenges with aviation fuel. This morning is said to have been addressed as a vessel docked earlier has discharged almost the product onto the market. To be getting you more details on that one. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, Finance Minister Dr. Tuforson has vowed to do everything on his part to sustain current economic gains. He's also promising to exercise the needed fiscal prudence to fast-track ongoing recovery. The minister said this when he presented the mid-year budget review to Parliament earlier today.
We expect inflation to continue its downward trend and reach our 2025 target ahead of schedule. We will sustain the stability of the cedi through disciplined spending, targeted investment, continued reserve accumulation. Growth will be further boosted by strategic initiatives, including the 24-hour economy program, the Big Push infrastructure program, and the revitalization of agriculture through the Agriculture for Economic Transformation program. Mr. Speaker, you may recall that during my vetting, when asked what I would like to be remembered as a minister, Mr. Speaker, I stated that I would like to be remembered for stabilizing the exchange rate, ensuring low prices, and creating jobs.
The minister also announced some aggressive measures to halt dollarization of the economy.
irrespective of source of funding, should be denominated in foreign currency. Mr. Speaker, we also want to use this opportunity to remind the public that per the Foreign Exchange Act 2006, Act 723, companies, institutions, and individuals are prohibited from pricing, advertising, receipting, or making payment for goods and services in foreign currencies in Ghana without prior written approval from the Bank of Ghana.
So how has the city's sharp appreciation impacted on the country's debt numbers? The finance minister has been giving us some update.
Billion as at end December 2024 to 613 billion as at end June 2025. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's public debt reduced by 113.7 billion Ghana cedis in 6 months. Mr. Speaker, for the first time in Ghana's history, there is a negative 15.6% rate of debt accumulation. Right, Honorable Speaker, Ghana's public debt to GDP ratio as at end June 2025 was 43.8% from the 61.8% of end December 2024. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's public debt as a percentage of GDP reduced by 18% of GDP in the last 6 months.
And that is Finance Minister Dr. Atufos. Let's do some reactions on this because economist Courage Botia has highlighted how the city's stability has helped turn around the economy, but he is worried about whether the gains can be sustained.
Well, yes, 1 cedi to 10, true. And the question remains that if your approach to sustaining it is through hard currency interventions, then you need to keep the pipeline of growing that reserve levels there so that in times of extreme vulnerability, you can still keep supply in the market. And if your pipeline is not that strong, then in time of trouble, you will be found wanting. That is why you want to strengthen the market to be able to source affairs sustainably and then also feed the market sustainably. So for us Ghanaians who want low exchange rate and better cost of living and all that, it sounds all good. But in the day of trouble, where the Bank of Ghana does not have the reserves to do so, that is when the problem will emerge, right? So you want to build the market forces to be able to attract the FX into the market, like the local economy, through productive activities, really, and not some intervention from the reserve level. That is.
Courage Boti is an economist sharing his thought on whether government can sustain the current gains going forward. Now, the aviation fuel supply challenge that hit the country earlier this morning is said to have normalized. Now, this because a vessel that docked earlier this morning, the country's port has dispersed a significant amount of supply. As of this afternoon, the National Petroleum Authority, in a statement, has confirmed this development, indicating the product has now been dispatched to the Tema Oil Refinery, the Ridge Depot, as well as PWS. Now, the product should last for about 2 weeks. You also understand that tank is actually dispatching the product at the Kotoka International Airport to aid in supply to the various airlines that would come in. And that's all for business on News Night. Let's do sports and any good news from the Black Queens. And
they have a game tomorrow against South Africa for a third place in the Women's AFCON. That will be happening. And we'll be hoping to see if they can.
I think they should have won that game against Morocco.
Against Morocco, well, it went to penalties.
Hard luck.
Hard luck, yeah.
Okay.
It went to penalties, hard luck. But who was your favorite, when you were a child, your favorite WWE icon? Who was it?
Oh, Hogan, he's one. Andre the Giant. And then there was another one, The Undertaker.
Undertaker himself.
So Hogan, Undertaker, and then Andre the Giant.
Well, unfortunately, one of them have passed on, and it is Hulk Hogan who has passed on. And he passed on.
Sure that when Hogan was
These were babies, you know. Ask whether he knows Andre the Giant.
I watched it.
Do you know Andre the Giant?
I came to see him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I came to see him.
The Undertaker?
They've got visuals of them on YouTube.
So you watch it on YouTube?
Okay. The Undertaker?
I watched it on TV at that time. YouTube.
And then there's this other guy.
Yeah.
The heart. Is Shawn Michaels?
I got to watch it.
Read the headline, like,
Yeah. Do you know him? Can you connect? You know. You know the heart.
I know him.
What was
I
he
know.
most famous for? If you
Oh, ripping his shirt.
Okay.
I loved it.
Do you know is it Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
okay.
Shawn
All
Michaels.
right. You know your WWE.
I'm not very young, please.
You watch it on YouTube.
I'm not very young, but he's passed on at the age of 71. Of course, as we mentioned, he did help make WWE popular across the world. Well, earlier today, the Clearwater Police Department confirmed his death and offered some more details surrounding his demise.
Terry Bollea, also known as Hulk Hogan, was experiencing a serious medical-related issue. Personnel provided medical treatment at that time and transported Mr. Bollea to Morton Plant Hospital, where he died at 11:17 a.m. The Clearwater Police Department is conducting a death investigation, which is standard in these types of cases. There are no signs of foul play or suspicious activity related to this call for service at this time.
The Clearwater Police Department confirming his demise there. Well, just a few more companies have signed up for the Joy Sports Invitational, and we've got Bulk Click Apps Limited. They have signed for the event on August 9. We are looking forward to receiving them. Also, another company by the name All Sale Services Limited. All Sale Services Limited have also signed up to be part of the event on August 9, and more companies are registering. I understand the multimedia football team, arm wrestling team have started preparing for the big event. You know, last year we won the arm wrestling competition, and we are looking to retain it this year.
Who competed for us?
There was one guy, I think, in engineering who competed for us. Really strong guy. Really strong guy. And he managed to win for us. We also have Mr. Ken Ansa has been preparing for the CEO's penalty shootouts. He came close last year. Ken Ansa came close in the penalty shootout last year. We'll see how well he will do this year. I'm not sure where you're taking me. Where have you to? Because clearly United are not good at penalties, so we can't trust you to train Ken Ansa for penalties. So let's see.
Oh, you know, the fact that the team I support isn't good at something doesn't. I am not good at something. At the same thing, I'm pretty good. I'm actually a striker, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, striker.
Yeah.
Which team did you play?
Castle Road Methodist one.
Oh, that sounds like a fun club.
Thank you very much. That's Ms. Bao there with sports. Still live here on News 90s and Joy 99.7 FM. Now, the lawyer for the National Cathedral, Charles Owusu Joanna, has pushed back against government claims, describing them as disingenuous. They specifically challenged the sessions by government spokesperson Felix Fusukwachi, stating that the mobile money account he referenced never reached the Secretariat, as most of the transactions reportedly failed. He says the payments failed to reach the Cathedral accounts due to issues with the payment platform provider, ADB Bank, and were not embezzled by trustees. He called on critics to direct questions to ADB rather than accuse the Cathedral leadership unjustly.
This thing has happened through a phase. Did you ask why they are saying those things without documentations? Now it has got to a certain point, and I want to deal with where it is now. So I need to recount whatever has happened to this point. And so I'm inviting you that go to the Secretariat or come here. The documents are here. They are on the net. Everywhere. In fact, the cathedral has gone to the churches and given them all documentations concerning the cathedral. So everything is kosher. I have a train of letters that has been written to ADB. ADB always tries to shift the goalposts. So the other day that I was at the NIB, I told the NIB people, I think now we have got to a place where you need to contact ADB for them to tell us why, if the Momo failed, where did the money go to? Because if you send Momo and it fails, you withdraw it, right? When you ask, there is a block. They don't tell you anything. Meanwhile, the money too is a lot of money, Ghanaians' money. Trusty people who are giving the money for trust. And trust means that if I give you money because of the cathedral, if you don't build the cathedral, you're supposed to give me back my money. You understand? So I've done, as a lawyer, I've gone through it with the bank. And they are still not coming forth with anything. Well, you have to get to a certain point before you sue. So now that we are getting to a point where it seems that they are being recalcitrant in giving us the information, Then now I can go to court and sue. You understand what I'm saying? But we have to go through a certain process first. Sorry.
Well, he revealed that the Secretariat currently owes contractors approximately $26 million and made a passionate appeal to President Mahama to ensure the continuation of the project.
What I said was that the cathedral is not a public entity. So government does not have to spend any money. Now, let me tell you something. When you go to the president's office right now, the chief of staff's place, there's a place. So much money. So when the president goes to, let's say, Volta region and there's a river and so he hasn't gone to parliament to have approval, he can pay. Oh, I'm sorry. He can pay. So if the president of the Republic of Ghana, elected, decides that I'm going to give seed money, he knows where he's going to get the seed money. But I never said President Mahama should use public funds to build a cathedral. That's not what I said, though. I said that the hindrance that is being put in the way of the cathedral must stop, so that those of them who believe in the cathedral can make their donations. The body called the cathedral, no, the president set it up in such a way that donations. So that's why he said, I'm giving seed money. He didn't say that I'm making a payment. So I can plead to the president, please, do this thing for us. I'm entitled to it.
And that there is Charles Owusu. He is lawyer for the National Cathedral project. Well, act now or face multiple civil actions. The minority's warning to the President John Dramani Mahama after walking out on the mid-year budget review and embarking on a protest of petitions. The MPP group decided that it wasn't worth it. Sitting through Finance Minister Dr. Cassiel Atoforsen's presentation when matters they consider urgent are yet to be attended to. The minority presented petitions to President of the Republic, the Diplomatic Corps, and civil society groups demanding action on the recent violence in Ablekuma North. Now, their first stop after leaving the Chamber of Parliament was the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps. Listen to the Deputy Minority Leader, Patricia PJ.
But we find it very urgent to come and protest and let the whole world know that the violence that took place at the rerun of our election is something that needs to be addressed by the current government. And we are also taking note of the upscale of galamsey in our country. We believe strongly that our country must be up and then ensure that we don't subscribe ourselves into destroying our lands and water bodies. So it is important that we bring these issues to the fore. So we have actually put everything in a statement of petition to your good self and to be passed on to the rest of the diplomatic. Yeah.
Yeah. Another Thank you very much again. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So we are now heading.
I want to bring in parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante, who followed them from that diplomatic corps presentation to the Jubilee House. And Kweku, what happened when they got to the Jubilee House? Hello, Kweku. Okay, I will try and bring Kweku in. He had followed the minority throughout. They went to several places, and it appears that this was very well coordinated, as they had some of their members already stationed there driving the bus through the city. You should have watched us or played this out on national television, and their message was pretty clear. This was the presentation at the Jubilee House, and Kweku joins me now with details of that. Kweku, fill us in on what happened when you got to the Jubilee House. Hello, Kweku, can you hear me?
Yes, Evans.
Yeah, what happened at Jubilee House?
Well, at Jubilee House, there was a brief stop at the military point where the police and military personnel stationed there did check for quite some time. When the approval was given, and then we went in, the chief of staff himself, together with the two deputy chief of staff, and we received the delegation in the Jubilee House. So I spoke on behalf of the minority, speaking both about the Ablekuma North rerun chaos and also the issue of balancing and demanding action.
Ghana is seen as a beacon and a fledgling democracy. We think that we have contributed hugely. The two main traditions, the MPP and the NDC, both have contributed hugely to building our democracy to the point where we are. The recently held rerun of 19 polling stations birthed a lot of issues. I won't try to unpack them here, but a lot of issues that certainly needs our attention of all the variables involved in the political field, particularly government, because a lot of responsibility is on your head. You are in total control of the security of the state. So we are here to present a petition, basically on two important matters. The violence that occurred at the rerun of Ablekuma North election, and we are upbeat about subsequent elections to be held in our country.
Quickly, did they get any commitment from the presidency?
Well, very brief response from the Deputy Chief of Staff that the presidency has received the petition and will look into the content. Very brief response.
Thank you very much, Chief Whip. So I've received your petition on behalf of the Chief of Staff and the President, and we'll do well to present it to him. Thank you. Thank you.
And quickly, where else did they go?
They ended at Cathedral at the CDC offices at airport, where they met Sheikh Arabian Osaibu, a host of top Cathedral officials. They narrated the situation at Ablekuma North and urged Cathedral to take a stronger stance on the matter together with civil society organizations. And then we all go back to Parliament. At the time, the proceedings had not ended. The Finance Minister was still on the floor, but it did not go to the floor. They went to the offices and they did not participate again in the Finance Minister's presentation, and the aftermath commentary that usually we would always have.
Quick question, thank you very much. He's our parliamentary correspondent there, and that's it for News Night tonight. Just before we go, a few messages on our WhatsApp console. Tani B in Boku says the MPP minority's decision to stage a walkout and refuse to participate in a 2025 mid-year fiscal policy review, which includes unprecedented budgetary allocations to various sectors of the economy for resetting Ghana, indicates that they do not wish Ghana well. It shows they are happy that the economy is on the right track. Francis in Accra says, so Ghanaians can see good like this in our socio-economic life. In fact, good thinking Ghanaians must wage a crusade, never to bring the MPP back. Musa Abacha says this is exactly the kind of budget Ghanaians have been yearning for. Philip in Keita says, seriously, the people of Keita constituency are happy with the NDC government that they would construct and build abandoned roads. And Nana on the Springtons Road says, please, is the MPP aware that their attitude will keep them in a position for long? Jones says, for once, we have listened to a budget devoid of the usual jargon which previously used to swindle Ghanaians. Very basic to understand, and for all ordinary Ghanaians to be carried along. A few of your comments on our WhatsApp console. Enjoy the rest of your evening.